right, guys, we're back with another YouTube video. Today, we're going to go over the trade we took on live in the Discord today. I'm also going to go over a trade that we faded that I know a bunch of people probably got burnt on today. I'm going to show you how you could have avoided that. That was just to show that we actually took the trade. You know, you see our executions. But let's go to trading view. And what, this was the beginning of the day. Yep, so February 19th. So coming into today, we had this news low right here. We had these relative equal highs internal inside a 5 minute right here. And then we also had a 15-minute gap sitting right above us right here. So before the day even started, this was our bias. I mean, obviously bearish, but if you look at the overall time frame of this entire week, we've been in this range. So we wanted to be disciplined today and really wait for the market to pick a direction before we decided what trade we wanted to take. But our bias coming today, 100% bearish with the news low sitting right below us at 795. So what we did, let's just play it. Let's just play it out and I'll talk with you guys about what we're seeing. Okay, market open, we're chopping. We took out those relative equals, but I mean, there's no real displacement. And then this is, here's something that happens. Oh, wait, let me go back. Okay. We displaced lower to this news low and put in this 1 minute gap right here. See this 1 minute gap? And see this news low? And we also tapped inside a 15-minute gap on the sweep of the news low. So this is definitely, you know, at this point, if you're trading ICT, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, liquidity sweep, you know, inverse fair value gap, we're going to get long. But like I said, we were bearish bias. You don't want to marry your bias, but we were bearish bias. So before we took any kind of reversal long play, I wanted to see the market pick a direction, especially with all this chop. So we've swept this news low right here and we are just sitting. And then this is the candle that actually gives us the fade. See this candle right here? See how it wicks all the way through with displacement and then comes back down? When that happens, very rarely am I going to take an inversion off the gap that it wicks through, unless it's just like so obvious. Market has been displacing extremely heavily lower. We have such a clear draw lower. We get a little retracement. And then there might also be a 2 minute gap inside of it that technically, even though it wicked through on the 1 minute, it didn't wick through on the 2 minute, but that's not how it happened here. So this starts wicking through, and then what? The market doesn't move lower and it actually inverses. And this is where I know a ton of people got absolutely burned. We did not take this inverse on stream. I literally said, we're going to fade this because this wick, market has not picked a direction. We have bearish bias today. Until we pick a direction to confirm our flipping bias, we're not going to take a trade. So what happens after this? I know you guys actually saw it. Boom. Death candle. You get let's see how far, 50 to 80. So a 70-point death candle after a liquidity sweep inverse. But like I said, it was that candle that stopped us. So then we just waited. We waited. We're going to go a little faster. We're going to go a little faster. And then we put in this 5 minute gap. It also has a 1 minute gap. While taking out these internal highs inside of this 15 minute. And at this point, this is why I say don't marry your bias, but use it as confluence and also take what the market gives you. Be reactive, not proactive. That's one of the biggest things that I like to tell people. Reactive, not proactive. When you get in your head that you know what the market's going to do, you're going to lose. So let's see what happens. We have a sweep of this news low inside of the 15 minute. And then we have some displacement higher. We reject off the 1 minute gap that we put in, which actually helped us create the 5 minute gap. At this point, I'm saying, yo, if this gap gets inverse down here, I'm potentially looking for shorts. I want a short because we're rejecting out this 15-minute gap. We took these relative equal highs out. We have a short bias, but we have already also taken out sell side liquidity. So if the market does what I'm about to show you guys, We inverse this gap, but you always wait for the first presented gap. Let's go here. If this gap gets inversed right here, I'd probably still get short. We took out the internal highs. We swept it. We'd inverse the first presented gap on the leg down. If we got a strong displacement on the 5 and 1 minute that put us around 48, 49, I would have got short. But what happened? Boom. We tap into this 5 minute, 1 minute gap, and we failed to inverse it. We took out the relative equal highs after taking out sell side into the 15-minute internal liquidity. Market attempted to go lower. Sellers tried to get the market to go lower. And what happened when we hit that 5-minute imbalance? We rejected out of it. The buyers stepped back in. And so what's that signaling to me? That's signaling me, okay, wait, sellers are not in control here. We put in a 1 minute gap on the retracement to this 5 minute. And so the long that we actually took was this long right here. So we targeted 25 points. We had TP at high day. It was 1-to-1. 1-to-1. This is the long that we actually took. As you see, almost zero drawdown. And then the rest of the day chops. We're only at 10:42, so I can't say the rest of the day. But up until now, the rest of the day has just chopped. And so the biggest thing that I really want you to take away from this is this wick right here. This wick and letting the market pick a direction. Okay? Let the market pick a clear direction. Yes, you could take this liquidity sweep. Or, I'm not saying because we didn't. But yes, there was a liquidity sweep. Yes, there was an inverse for value gap. But the buyers tried to inverse it once already and failed. Right here. This wick. It wicks all the way through, past it almost to the top of the wick of the actual gap. And so until this gets inversed in the market, the buyers are saying, okay, we actually want to move this price higher after coming into the day where I already have a bearish bias. Unless it's clear A+ textbook what's happening, I'm not going to take the play. And that's why I would imagine so many people who are new to ICT concepts and don't really understand the market and don't see the market and can't read the price action probably just pattern traded that, and that's what separates the good traders apart from the great traders. You can actually read what's happening on the chart versus just seeing the actual structure. It's hard to explain, but as you watch the videos and as you train more and as you pick up little things like this, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it comes with time in the markets. That's why it's hard for people to, people look at this as a get-rich-quick scheme. They want to get in. They want to become masters at it in a week. And it's just not going to happen. There are going to be people that learn way faster than other people. That's just how life is. Some people are the 1%. But time in the markets is unmatched. Father Time is unbeaten. You need time in the markets to recognize these little things and start seeing what the narrative is being created. What narrative is being created in the market right now? What are they wanting to do? Sellers failed to push this lower. Buyers bought it back up with displacement through a sell side imbalance. They want to take this thing higher. So that's really a trade recap for the day. Like I said, we do take all these trades live in the Discord. If you guys do want to join up, we got a great community. I'm also going to attempt to start doing a know nothing to profitability YouTube series on here. Try to figure out a name for it and structure it out to where you can literally go from nothing to knowing everything that I know, everything that Doc knows. But that's it for the video today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Link is in the description for the Discord and all my other socials. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.